Right now, Pittsburgh Sports Show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We do it, Gene, how many nights a week do we do it? Every single night of the week. We are here at 412-575-2600. The Honorable Gene Collier, outstanding, almost Pulitzer Prize winning columnist. Is that how you like to refer to it?
Pulitzer Prize losing columnist.
And Bob Pompeani here. We're taking your calls at 412-575-2600. So the Penguins cleaned out their locker today. No real discoveries about injuries other than Sullivan and Rutherford seemed to have a little disagreement about the extent of Kessel's, whatever was bothering him. But nothing else that I saw that was anything alarming. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was. Usually, I mean, it's not just this team, but a lot of teams, particularly football teams, when it's all over, they say, well, yeah, so-and-so was playing with, one leg. But nothing dramatic out of the Penguins locker room, which leads me to believe, they got beat on their own merits.
Yeah, and that's stunning when you think about it because they had a pretty good lineup that night versus what Washington had, and yet Washington came away with a win. And there are a lot of reasons for that. We can analyze that as we move forward and hear your opinions at 412-575-2600. GM Jim Rutherford also said that he expects change. He expects some change to his roster, which means, I would think more than anything, trades here and there. He also said something today about Daniel Sprong, that he will be a regular in their lineup. I'm glad to hear that. He's been through a lot down in the minors. I think he's learned his lesson about playing 200 feet of hockey. 2 goals, you need snipers.
Yeah, and it's good from a marketing kind of PR standpoint, too. People really want to get a look at this guy, really want him to get a full shot, and there's really no reason that he shouldn't.
So of the forwards you see on this roster, which do you think are in jeopardy of not returning?
Hagelin and Kessel.
So there is a team out there who would love to have, there are a lot of teams who would love to have Kessel. The problem is, would they love to also have the contract that comes with him? Because it's 4 more years at roughly 7.5, whatever it is, $1 million a year.
There's always somebody with a little bit of room and,
and close to winning.
And who's a little bit desperate to kind of accelerate things. Those teams are out there every year.
So there are teams like that, and I would suspect that those teams might ask and see what they have, especially if they have some cap room available to them. Certainly a lot of teams that think they're close. We'll see. And Jim Rutherford's not afraid to make a trade, even if it involves something big.
Right.
Because he knows that you got to keep changing things, keeping them fresh. Derek Brassard said today that he had some sort of injury, wouldn't expound upon that, Gene, but he said he'd be willing to come back and be a winger if need be.
Yeah, he said that he had discussed that with Sullivan. I think the Penguins would also be willing to not have him come back. I think he's not out of the woods as far as a player move might go.
What about Chris Letang? A lot of people love to mention him. He had a rough go in the playoffs, especially games number 5 and 6. Yeah. But he's still one of the best defensemen in their history, and he still has time left here, and I still think he could be a valuable guy for them.
Yeah, I don't think Letang's going anywhere. If you do that, then you're messing with the core of the nucleus, right?
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And I also think coming off that neck injury, a full off season to heal, he's going to be a lot better than he was to start this season.
I think so.
What about the Pirates? We'd like to hear from you. They came back again, down 5-2 in the 9th inning, and they got 3 runs in the top of the 9th. Chicago's a bad team, and they're now 3-15 at home. They blew 2 4-run leads the last 2 nights, Gene, but give the Pirates credit. They're beating teams they're supposed to beat. And Colin Moran with a big 2-run home run in the top of the 9th. So they come home 21-16, and they got the Giants on Friday night.
The Giants Friday, and then a couple more with the White Sox, who are truly dreadful, and after that 4 with the Padres. So there's a 9-game homestand where the Pirates should get 6 of them. They just finished a 9-game road trip on which they lost the first 4, but wound up winning 4 of the 9. To me, that's a successful trip for the Pirates.
All right, we'll take your calls on that. 412-575-2600. Let us know on Twitter. It's at KDPomp, at Gene Collier. We'll take those calls next, right here live on Pittsburgh CW.